Alright guys, welcome back to Persona 3 Reload. Last time I met in Persona 3, we learned about Theurgy attacks, if I remember correctly. We finally learned about the big thing that Persona 3 Reload was marketing whenever it was revealed, is that, they were going to have big super ultimate attacks, even though technically most of them were in the original Persona 3. They were just kind of limited use items that you got from, or they were spell fusions that you got from Makoto whenever you fuse certain personas. And to some extent, that rule still kind of exists here. The Oh, no, actually, it really just exists here. It's just that the game will go out of its way to tell you. It's kind of like the game is going out of its way to tell you about the Theurgies now, and it just also gives Theurgies to everybody instead of just you, which is nice. But and we'll be learning more about how Theurgies can really break the game in half when you start getting into it. When you start getting into battles and learning how each of the Theurgy works and how certain characters charge their Theurgies up faster and stuff like that. Oh, you will break this game in half. Because, again, Persona 3 Reload is probably the easiest, again, as I will say probably a million times throughout this entire game. Persona 3 Reload is the easiest version of Persona 3, meaning that you don't have to worry too much about losing the game. I think the only way you would have any sort of challenge is in some sort of challenge mode or in merciless difficulty, or I think it's called merciless in this game. But again, those are just in fact, I'm pretty sure merciless is pretty easy too.
In that case,
What? What did? What did she do to him? What? What did she do to him? That is the equivalent of the "don't ask questions you aren't prepared to handle the answers to" from SpongeBob. What the hell did Mitsuru do to him? Do we see Mr. Yokota after that? Is he still alive? Someone better look into this. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna say this now. I've been recording Persona 3 Reload sessions, pretty on and off. There are times where I record, 4 sessions a week, and there are times where I've recorded, I haven't recorded one in a while. And I just recorded a session last night of the game, and Jesus Christ, I forgot that I already forgot that I already finished Maya. Because one thing you'll notice, especially towards the beginning of sessions, and when we start getting later into the game, I will start looking at the social link page, the Persona tab, all that stuff, just so I kind of get a refresher of what I've done in the game, just so I remember. Because yes, I am following a schedule that I have saved. It's just when you haven't played in a little, and the schedule only tells you so much at a time. It's not gonna. I don't give myself a recap of what I should have done by that time because my session links are really inconsistent. I try to end when I go to the dark hour, or Tartarus, or whenever I finish a month. One of the two. And there are times where I'm playing for probably 5 hours at a time because I'm just too engrossed in the game, I guess. But I finished Maya a while ago. Yeah, spoiler alert, I finished Maya. I finished the Hermit's Arcana. And it's been a while since I've seen her. I've seen the social link, so it was just kind of funny that I'm because I think at the time of this recording, in terms of where I am in the game, I am just getting to October. I'm about to go into October within the next couple of weeks, in game time anyway. In fact, how long ago was this session recorded? I'm actually kind of curious. I have them all saved to a hard drive. This is probably session 5. Holy crap, this was all the way back in October. Yeah, this was not that far ago. And for some reason at midnight. So I probably recorded that more on October 5th than anything. Like, I could also tell when I recorded the game because of whether or not Spider-Man is my most recent game played.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Marvelous. I'm looking for. Are you accepting a request? Most excellent.
Yeah, Elizabeth got new requests that we have to deal with now, which a lot of them are pretty easy now.
Oh my. You have my thing.
Yeah, that's why I bought the bouquet of roses earlier, by the way. That was for a request.
I will await a report of success. By all means. By all means. Oh, yes. By all means. Come to think. By all means. Very well.
Okay. So now we're about to do something, we're going to do some gambling. So, one thing that Persona 3 Reload, I don't know if this was in the original, I can't remember, that you can do now is that you can just press the play until you win prompt, meaning that you will lose 200 yen for every time you attempt, and the cutscene will only play until you win. But the thing is, there is a random chance that you will lose a lot of yen because you are only playing until you win. So, like, I got kind of lucky because it was probably my second or third attempts for most of that. But you have to get Jack Frost dolls to Elizabeth, and the only way to get them is through the crane game over there. So yeah, and you don't have to do anything special for the crane game. You don't have to have like a certain social stat up, or you don't have to play a mini game or anything. It just happens. It just works for you. It just happens automatically. It's just a matter of pure luck. I don't know if, your first playthrough may be a little bit of a problem because of, it may be a bit of a problem for your first playthrough because you just don't have the funds. Like, you probably only have like 1,000 yen on you. But again, if you've been doing some basic grinding in Tartarus, it shouldn't be a problem. Now, this one may be a problem. This is, so this is another request that has a bit of a deadline, and this one's kind of there are multiple ways to approach it. You can bring black quartz to him and get the glasses at a discount, or you spend full price for it. I think the full price is like 100,000 yen or something like that, or was it 10,000? I can't remember. But either way, you're spending yen on this, and you have until the deadline to do it. So depending on your schedule, you may end up having to pay full price for it.
How embarrassing. You have my thing. Wonderful. If I may, I have a Let's hear the result. Marvel. I'm looking for. Of course.
And now we gotta bring some protein, and if you know your persona, you know who to ask. But the fashionable request, yeah, I'm not sure if, I'm not sure. I don't remember the full price because I always give them the black quartz, but I might have just actually paid full price. I can't remember. I wasn't really paying attention because I was skipping through all the fucking prompts. But I probably did. Oh, I could also just, a little simple thing called
Are you accepting
Google.
request? Let's hear the result.
Let's
Is
see
that
here.
true?
Fashionable Persona 3.
Very well.
It's 150,000 yen if you don't give him the black quartz.
Very well.
So I technically was right. But if you have black quartz, it's only 10,000. So I only paid 10,000 because I gave him and yeah, here's where I learned all the Theurgies that I have so far. I believe I'm only missing one. Yeah, so they're still called fusion spells for Makoto specifically, but they're just Theurgies. And there's also something else that is kind of tied to the Velvet Room for Theurgies, and that is Makoto's personality traits. They do, depending on your compendium for your compendium, you'll get a new whatchamacallit personality trait. Like right here it is again, because I have like 80% of the compendium. So weakness amp greatly increases damage when striking a foe's weakness. Basically, now I do extra damage. I do extra damage when I hit a weakness, which is cool. Because, again, Makoto's Theurgy is probably one of the easier ones to charge up, because it just requires that you use a persona, and his characteristic is using weaknesses. So, for, the wild card to be able to use multiple personas at once, it's pretty easy for Makoto. I would probably say the easiest characters as Theurgy to charge up is probably Akihiko or Ken. Akihiko especially, because of the fact that when you charge, Akihiko's goes up when you have any sort of buff on him. And he does get one of the auto moves eventually. The auto buff moves on him eventually, meaning that basically you're starting the battle with a buff, meaning that Akihiko's Theurgy will be charging in the background. Ken's is, if his SP is reduced to half or lower, he'll charge his Theurgy faster, which is, pretty good. All right. Yes, we're actually going to Tartarus. It kind of sucks that you were forced to go to Tartarus the previous night, but now you can go again. I'm going to the goddamn Velvet Room again. Probably to do some fusions before going into Tartarus itself.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I'm surprised I didn't do this when I was going around doing requests, but I probably just didn't care.
Which will you choose?
Are you satisfied with this?
Thought I was cutting this out.
Beneath you. Please choose what skills to inherit.
Yeah, you may notice that there are times where, like, a new persona will be
It will receive
highlighted on my fusion screen, and the reason I'm ignoring them is that's because that's the DLC, those are DLC personas, specific. That's why Elizabeth keeps saying this one is somewhat beneath you, or... Really? You're staring right at me, you idiot. Anyway, Elizabeth will keep saying this one is somewhat beneath you. Well, she says that if you're a significant level higher than the persona that you're trying to fuse. But it's funnier when you think about it. It's funnier when you're hovering over when you're hovering over a persona from Persona 5. I just find that funny. Especially if it's like Jokers as personas or something like that.
Well then, shall we begin?
I'm very easy to entertain. Have I talked about the items that personas can drop? I don't feel like I have. So basically, whenever you level a persona up enough,
Please choose what
and they have a little heart icon on them in the first place, you can actually upgrade. You can actually get an item from that persona when you're finished with it. And that's actually really useful, mainly for making for crafting weapons. If you want the best weapons in the game, you have to use this system. Because one of the best weapons, the best sword for Makoto is Lucifer's Blade, which you get through crafting with, Lucifer's item that you get.
to inherit.
It seems no new power.
It's finally time.
What kind of persona do you desire?
This one is some. Please
Yeah, but
choose
right now
what
all the personas that are being offered to me are all the fucking DLC ones. And I'm pretty sure this wouldn't be a problem if I didn't download the DLC in the first place, but
It appears
I honestly don't care.
receive a fair amount. Well, well, well.
Also, yes, I skipped the fusion animation because I've seen it like a million goddamn times. I don't recall there being a single instance in the Persona series where I don't skip the fusion animation after the first time.
Are you satisfied with
Oh,
the
hey, a new
choice
persona.
to inherit?
Because I'm pretty sure I always skip it no matter what, once I've seen it once, because I don't need to see it like a million times. The only time I don't skip it is if it's forcing me to watch a fusion accident, which is the most fucking infuriating thing that can happen to you.
It appears it will
Just,
receive
I just straight up hate fusion accidents. Especially when it's like I'm trying to plan out something, like if I'm trying to fulfill a request for Elizabeth, or I genuinely need that persona for, for battles, because I'm trying to do something, because, you know, that persona has really good resistances and stuff like that. But then, you know,
Are you
I get a
satisfied?
fusion accident and the game just decides, fuck you.
Do you wish to inherit?
It's like, hey, go fuck yourself. Soul Shift? Soul Shift?
It seems
Okay.
no new power.
I mean, it's only 5 SP, so it's not the end of the world to me, I guess, and usually I'm the one starting the chain of, whatchamacallit,
Are you satisfied
shifting.
with this? This one is please choose.
By the way, don't ask me to pronounce any of the Persona names, especially when we start getting into later ones.
It appears it will receive
There's one in the Aeon,
a fair amount.
Arcana that I always just go,
Appears it will
because it sounds, because I cannot, mainly because I always just skim read it, but like, the way I pronounce it, I make it sound like that one song that goes, because I'm just like, yeah, I cannot pronounce that, and I'm not even going to attempt it.
This one is somewhat beneath you. Are you satisfied with this? Please choose what skills to inherit.
Yes, I am.
It appears it will receive a...
A new power emerges.
Though I will admit, I do like the fusion accident animation in this game specifically. Mainly because it's just basically Makoto gets hit by a card and gets hit by the cards and just falls on his back. And it's kind of funny. Though I think my favorite fusion accident animation just will always go to Persona 5 Strikers specifically. Mainly because of Lavenz's like stoic face when it just... When the whatchamacallit, just blows up right in front of her, and she just stands there just like, well, shit. It's like, well, that's unfortunate.
Have you all the elements you need?
Are you satisfied with this? Are you satisfied with this? Are you satisfied with this?
Oh, okay, so I think I know what I'm about to start trying to do. I'm looking into trying to fuse Orpheus Telos, which is Makoto's ultimate persona, or well, one of his ultimate persona, I guess you could say. You don't really get anything for doing. So just like I think Persona 5 had one. Persona 5 had a trophy for fusing Satanael. Persona 3 Reload does have a trophy for fusing a specific persona, but it's not Orpheus Telos, it's Messiah. That is the trophy you get. But fusing Messiah is literally the easiest one you can ever do. It's not that hard. It's just fusing Thanatos and Orpheus together. And, you know, doing that is pretty easy. Oh, one thing I appreciate Reload for doing is you don't have to summon every persona that you're missing for a special fusion. It just summons it automatically for you.
Are you satisfied with this? This one is somewhat beneath you. This persona, yes?
Yeah, but Orpheus Telos, or Telos, I don't know why I keep saying Telios. He's the ultimate persona for Makoto because he only has one ability by default, which is what was it, Victory Cry, which fully restores your health after a battle. But the other thing is you can inherit skills from other personas before you actually, before you actually fuse him. Meaning that, you could potentially make something really broken. And I believe they encourage that you take him into the battle with Elizabeth. Because he is resistant to everything, but he is not immune to anything at the same time. But you can't make him, but I wouldn't recommend doing that if you want to beat Elizabeth. Unfortunately, we will not be exploring Tartarus in this part because... My rule is I don't start exploring Tartarus until the next session. So the next time we meet in Persona 3 Reload, we will start exploring Tartarus again. And then I think it's just exploring Tartarus for the next couple of parts. So see you guys next time, and take care.